UFC Fight Night Dern versus Hill is this weekend, and guys, today I'm going to tell you the two fighters on the entire card that I will be cheering for the most and why I will be cheering for them to win their fights. We're going to get into both of those fighters in just a second. Before we get into the video, though, I do want to say hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels. Let's talk UFC Fight Night. So this is something that I do for every single card. I take a look at the whole card, and if one fighter really sticks out to me, I'm going to start making a video, and I'm going to talk about hey, you know what? This is why I'm cheering for this fighter to win, and maybe, just maybe, you'll cheer for them as well. And comment down below too if there are any particular fighters on the card you are cheering for. So honestly, usually on cards, there are fighters that there are more fighters that I really cheer for to win their fights. But this card has a lot of fighters where I haven't really watched enough, where I've grown an attachment to them. You know what I mean? If they've been a veteran or something along the lines of that, there's just I don't have there's fighters that I can cheer for, but there's not somebody that I'm going to be wholeheartedly invested in. So let's get into the first fighter today, and the first fighter is Edmen Shahbazyan. I really hope this dude wins because he came into the UFC looking like he was going to be the next big thing. He was not on top of the world, not anything like that, but he was a really solid fighter, really solid contender. And after those three losses, after the first Derek Brunson loss, he looked so defeated, and he found out after that, it looked like it wasn't the same guy fighting. And perhaps it was because of the step up in competition, but it feels like he was just, and I hate to use this term because there's so many ways you can use this term and it's just stupid, but he needs to find himself. And it looks like he got a little bit of momentum in his last fight. He finally got a win and he looked decent doing it. I really hope for Edmen Shahbazyan, and the reason that I'm cheering for him is I want to see him continue to succeed. I want to see that smile on his face when he wins. I want to see him become a threat in the division again, because Edmen Shahbazyan, I don't want him to just lose and be one of those what if fighters. I guess you can compare him to Darren Till in a sense, a guy that came in with so much hype, maybe not to the same level of a Darren Till, but you get the point that I'm making. I want to see him get back to momentum. I want to see him overcome adversity, and think about the story, man. Breaks into the top 15, gets those insane matchups, and then you could have that whole story. Edmen Shahbazyan came in, had those horrible losses, and then came back, reinvented himself, and now Edmen Shahbazyan has found himself in a title fight against Israel Adesanya. Think about that story. Seems like a cool dude. I'll be cheering for him, but the problem is, Anthony Hernandez, I don't dislike Anthony Hernandez at all. Another reason that I want to cheer for Edmen Shahbazyan is because this matchup, everybody, including myself, is counting him out. I'm betting on Anthony Hernandez, and I don't want to. I just really wholeheartedly believe he's going to win this fight, man. I want Edmen Shahbazyan to prove all the doubters wrong. The UFC stuck him with a fighter that is, on paper, the literal worst matchup for him. I feel bad for that. I want him to overcome that. I want him to continue his role, get back on the train, be a contender in middleweight. I'm going to be cheering for Edmen Shahbazyan, and if he pulls it off somehow, if he catches Anthony Hernandez in that first round coming in, I will be screaming on the couch, man. I really hope Edmen Shahbazyan wins. So Edmen Shahbazyan, you'll never come across this video, but if you do, I am cheering for you, man. Anyways, next fighter. One more fighter that we're cheering for this card. I want Chase Hooper to win. I really want Chase Hooper to win against Nick Fiore. And honestly, it's just because I like Chase Hooper. It doesn't have a story, anything similar to Edmen Shahbazyan. Besides, Chase Hooper, you know what? He came in, now he has a little bit of a spotty record, right? It's no longer, nobody was looking at him like a really strong contender like they were looking at Edmen Shahbazyan at one point. I just like him. And he's had some really tough losses. And it really looks like he's dedicating himself. He put in so much work apparently with guys like Michael Chiesa. So I hope it just doesn't go to waste in this. And I want to see him win. I want to see him keep fighting. The dude has some insane heart, insane grappling. He's very charismatic. He's funny. He has all of the potential to be a star. Going around pretending like he's Ben Askren's son. I just like him. He entertains me. I like watching him. I like his performances, and I've just become a fan of his. Absolutely nothing against Nick Fiore. Nothing against him. I just want Chase Hooper to win. I have a feeling no matter who he fights, unless he fights one of my favorite fighters, I'll be yeah, I'd like Chase Hooper to win. Chase Hooper even brings my sister to the couch, because I typically watch the fights with my family. I go over to my mom's house, and then my sister will actually come out for Chase Hooper because she just likes Chase Hooper as well. No reason. She just likes him. That's how I feel about it. I like the guy. So I hope he beats Nick Fiore, because if he does lose, we're going to start questioning whether or not he belongs in the UFC. So I hope Chase Hooper wins, guys. Are there any fighters that you will be cheering for this weekend. If there are, let me know down below who they are and why you were cheering for them. And guys, maybe I'll have the support with you if you give me a good reason. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new here, hit like, subscribe. If you want to watch more from the Clenbat channel on the screen right now, we'll have 2 fantastic videos for you. Check them out. They're pretty great. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you there. Take care.